Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beatle Dustino coming at you again today with yet another video and yet another super late breaking news video on several different items. Little things here and there coming out from the Beatles that we might have missed. I might have covered in a short, but I'm going to cover in a longer form video, stuff like that. But anyways, let's hear more about that after the intro. Yes, all the big news with, well, I'll just show you this one. This will be kind of the first one coming out because I'm getting prepped to do the review video next here. But yeah, the Power to the People John and Yoko box set coming out on October 10th. We got the Anthology coming out in November 21st, and then all the other stuff coming out later in that week there with the Anthology and the video stuff on Disney Plus and so forth and so on. We also got Paul McCartney and Wings coming out on November 7th. So we got a lot of Beatle-y stuff coming, and there's a couple of things I've kind of missed. I've been trying to get news out for everybody, and some of it, like I said, I've covered it, but like it may be a short, and I just kind of want to go through. There is some smaller stuff out there that's kind of flying under the radar from all these big boxes like this. Yeah. All right. Which is fantastic, by the way. Holy cow. My review will be on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's take a look at kind of what else is coming. And one of the first ones, I did a little short on it, but I'm going to talk about it again here. One of the first ones coming up, also on the day that this comes out, October 10th, we're going to have a reissue of Abbey Road. It'll be the anniversary edition Abbey Road, and it's going to be a Target exclusive, and I'm sure elsewhere in the world, your different retailers that do kind of the exclusives like this are going to carry it too. But it's on green vinyl, so an other colored vinyl Beatles release, which has just been few and far between. So I'm really excited to see this. And it's kind of a dark forest green kind of matching the trees, I suppose. I think kind of matching that, and I think it's going to look fantastic. And I think back in the 70s when they did do a few colored vinyl reissues, it's 77 or so I think they did a lot. And Abbey Road was one of them, and it was on that darker green. So I think it's kind of a recreation of that. But yeah, that'll be coming out October 10th at Target and whatever retailers that you're exclusive elsewhere in the world. Just go look that up. I'm sure you probably already know about it. And here in the States at Target, it's $34.99. I know the trick is, if you're pre-ordering it from the website there and don't want to pay the shipping, is get a Kit Kat bar. My one commenter will know who I'm talking about there. He'll be laughing on that, but get a Kit Kat bar. I totally forgot to do it when I did that, so I'm paying the shipping for it too. So, oof. I need to get a red card going again or something. I don't know. That'll be kind of the first one coming out, besides, obviously, John and Yoko's Power to the People, also that day. But yeah, go get to your local Target and pick that up. The next one up, I'm kind of going to try to go in order here, and I got to kind of see where I got everything written. I think the next one, this one's a little out there, but I think it's kind of flying under the radar somewhat. And it's not a huge thing, but it's, you know, for us Beatles fans, we like to collect all the different things, and especially colored vinyl fans. Again, we got some colored vinyl coming out. But anyways, Universal Music is releasing a classic holiday singles box set featuring 14 7-inch singles. And in that, 2 of those singles are going to be Beatle-y. So, of course, we're going to have Happy Christmas, War is Over by John and Yoko, and then Wonderful Christmastime by Paul McCartney. You're going to have it available in the box. The box is selling, it's coming out October 31st, Halloween, on 2025, and the box is selling for $179.98. Features, I'll go through the list here. Sorry, I'm apologizing if I'm reading here. Beach Boys, Little Saint Nick, with Old Lang Syne on a ice blue 7-inch. Bing Crosby White Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas on a snow white 7-inch. Bobby Helms Jingle Bell Rock, Captain Santa Claus and his Reindeer Space Patrol. Wow, boy, that one's quite on apple red 7-inch vinyl. Brenda Lee Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, backed with Papa Noel on translucent emerald 7-inch vinyl. Burl Ives, A Holly Jolly Christmas, backed with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on Snow White 7-inch. Chuck Berry, Run Rudolph Run, backed with Merry Christmas Baby on an evergreen 7-inch. Dean Martin, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, backed with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and that is on a Snow White 7-inch, also on Snow White again. Ella Fitzgerald, Sleigh Ride, backed with Jingle Bells on a deep red 7-inch. Elton John, Step Into Christmas, backed with Ho Ho Ho. Who'd Be a Turkey at Christmas on evergreen 7-inch vinyl. Frank Sinatra with Jingle Bells, backed with Silent Night on evergreen 7-inch vinyl. The evergreen seems to be another popular one with the Snow White. The Jackson 5, Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, backed with Christmas Won't Be the Same This Year on an apple red 7-inch vinyl. Getting to the next one, the Beatley, one of the first Beatley ones, which would be John Lennon and Yoko Ono and the Plastic Ono Band. Happy Christmas, War Is Over, backed with Listen, The Snow Is Falling on evergreen 7-inch vinyl. And then Nat King Cole, the Christmas song, Merry Christmas to You, backed with Deck the Halls on an opaque baby blue 7-inch vinyl. And then our last Beatley one, and the last one of the box, Paul McCartney, Wonderful Christmastime, backed with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae on Canary Yellow 7-inch vinyl. Now, I'm telling you about the box set there, but you can get, and I don't think you get all of the singles out of the box set, some of them, but not all of them, individually too. And the John and Yoko and the Paul McCartney are both available individually, and you can order those for $14.95 each. If you don't want to pay the $170 or $80 for the big box set there, $30 will get you the Beatley ones. I don't think they're doing, I'm a Beach Boys fan too, I don't think they're doing the Beach Boys singly. I don't think Elton John is single either. That was another one I was kind of looking at. I probably wouldn't have got those anyway, just thinking about it. Maybe the Beach Boys one, because I'm kind of getting to be, but Elton John, I like his music, but I'm not a huge collector. But yeah, I do like the fact that we can get those individually. Individually, Beatles. We'll talk about that too coming up. But yeah, $14.95 each, and you can pre-order those at Amazon too. It took me forever to find it, and the Paul McCartney one is tricky to find. I had a hard time searching that. I had to literally put in the product code to get it to come up. But you can get those pre-ordered through Amazon too, or you Discover Music, or probably Sound of Vinyl has got them, and even at John's store and Paul's store, their individual stores have got those too. So several places you can get that, but I thought that was just a fun little one to talk about too. Next one's coming up. I'm going to mention this one next, and I've totally missed some of the releases on this, and it's George Harrison, believe it or not, has got some releases coming up. I kind of thought he was going to scoot by 2025 here with not much coming out, and it really isn't anything huge. And I've already missed the first wave of this back in May. I think it was May 7th.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh jeez!
May 9th. May 9th of 2025. The first wave of this came out, and it featured in the first wave, All Things Must Pass, and they're all in this Eco Wallet, it's called, packaging. It's kind of like a mini LP, but it's not a mini LP because it's not faithfully recreating the original LP jacket, but it is that dimension. I'm going to show you a couple of them here because I did pick up a couple now that I learned about them. But the All Things Must Pass is basically the 50th anniversary edition that came out in 2021. Yeah, there it is. It's going to be the 2 CD version. Now this is the original one that came out in 2021, but it's going to be exactly the same as this. If you got this that came out in 2021, it's exactly the same. It even says the 50th anniversary on the front. I haven't picked that one up yet. I'm probably going to get it just because I'm kind of a CD nut collector with this. I like having one of each of all the releases. I'm slowly going back and getting the other stuff, but that is the All Things Must Pass one. I missed mentioning Wonderwall Music and Electronic Sound. Those would have been, I guess, the first ones before that. Those were also in that. Now, those were also in the Apple Years box here. If you're familiar with this, and this is the Japanese SHM one. I think that's the only way you could get this box, but it's basically the same packaging now on these other albums. And that All Things Must Pass is basically the same as what's in here too, just with the 50th anniversary. So Wonderwall music would have been in that too, and it basically is going to look a lot like that one. So if you've got this or had these individually when they came out, I think in 2014, it's going to be about the same thing. And Electronic Sound was the other one in there. This one technically was part of it, but they're counting the anniversary edition that came out in November of 2024. I think is that the Living in the Material Worlds one on that. So it technically wasn't in this issue from May, but they're counting that one from the single CD version. Would have been its equivalent in this Eco Wallet one. Now this one is the next one we're going to talk about, and I do have a copy of this one here too. And I want to show you kind of the differences because there is a slight difference. They are, I'm not even going to pull it out of the sleeve or anything here. They're exactly the same inside, but you can see the new ones are just slightly taller. Just slightly. And that's going to be really the only difference in these ones so far. So yes, Dark Horse was one of them that was included. And I do have extra texture here also. I'm not going to pull out extra texture here. Oh, better close the garage door.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh geez!
Oh no. Oh geez. Oh boy. Screwing up already. But I do got extra texture here also. And again, slightly taller than the one that's in that Apple Years box. Only real difference I think that's in them so far. Otherwise, they got the little booklet inside, the inner sleeve for the CD. I will show you this one. Why not? I'll pull that out to show you. They all got a nice new hype sticker. I'll kind of show you the hype sticker on these. So this is kind of a collection update at the moment, but that's the hype sticker from the extra texture, and then the little booklet here, and then they do come with the inner sleeve here. So this is it's kind of a mini LP, but kind of not. And there's the new label on it, which is basically what we've had. I don't think there's much different here. Also in that wave was, and I've got the one CD, Living in the Material World one here. Early Takes Volume 1. There is no Volume 2. I don't know what's ever happened to that. Got released. The big difference is you can see down there, it's now got the Dark Horse logo instead of the Universal Music logo. And this one, it's considered an Eco Wallet just like these, but it's longer on this, just slightly, and shorter. So this one is exactly the same package. If you've got the Universal Music one that released back in, what was it, 2011? Yeah, it's exactly the same. And the remasters are exactly the same from those. And from what I've understood, even though they are reissuing these, that it's not going to affect any future remix packages coming out, from what I read on that. There was also, with that May release, a couple of vinyl issues. They're not doing all the vinyl, just a couple of them. Dark Horse and Extra Texture both got a vinyl reissue on the Dark Horse label, the new Dark Horse /BMG label. Those were the only ones that got a vinyl reissue with it. So this new wave that's coming out, it was slated for October 24th, but now I don't know if it's just the shipping is going to be delayed a little and it's still releasing October 24th, or if the release date got bumped up to November 7th. So I'm not sure. There is going to be another wave of this coming out in the Eco Wallet packaging, which is a bit of a unique thing because it's going to be basically the stuff out of the Dark Horse Year box for the most part, not all of it. So if you're familiar with this box and this reissue that happened, and these were all jewel cases when this came out. These new ones are going to be Eco Wallets, so you're going to have a whole new package from what originally came out when these reissues happened in 2004. There we go. A little bit of an update on what we got here in this box. Let's go through what's in there because not everything from that box is in there, and there's a little addition too. So we got 33 1/3. George Harrison, which is going to have that newer cover on it, just like that, not the original vinyl cover when that first came out.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh geez!
I'm sorry, George Harrison is correct. Somewhere in England is the one I'm talking about. That's got the original cover. I even got my notes correct, and I don't know why I was reading it wrong. But somewhere in England, it'll be the other one in there. Gone Troppo, Cloud 9. Now, missing from that box is Live in Japan, But what wasn't in that box was Brainwashed, and Brainwashed is going to be part of this wave, but Live in Japan is not. Those are going to be out, and I kind of skipped, I guess, because that vinyl box, the singles box was a Christmas box, was the 31st. This was supposed to be the 24th, but it might be November 7th. I'm not positive on that. But also with this, there is a couple of vinyl reissues happening too. There's going to be 3 different ones with this set. So George Harrison, Somewhere in England, and Gone Troppo are all getting a vinyl reissue also, along with the CD. The CD is, of course, in the Eco Wallet package. Now, that's kind of news to me because, like I said, it's a whole new packaging format. So where the Apple Years ones, the wave that came out in May, pretty much are recreating what was already in the 2014 reissue of those under Universal Music. Now under Dark Horse BMG, it's just slightly taller. That's the only difference, but still the same kind of Eco Wallet packaging. These are going to be the first time on the Eco Wallet, and for fans of that type of packaging like me, I love Digi Sleeve, Eco Wallet, mini LP style packaging. I'm not a huge fan of jewel cases. I don't mind jewel cases, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. And I'm really excited for this, getting these in this new kind of package on that, especially like Brainwash, which seems to get kind of ignored. The next thing coming up, also November 7th, and also coming out that day, the wide release, is the Wings Paul McCartney package, the new compilation. Kind of sliding under the radar, there is a Target exclusive coming. 1 LP, colored vinyl issue, for $27.99, and it's going to be on a green vinyl. I haven't found anything more than that image of it. They're not showing what the vinyl looks like. Now, I know in the colored vinyl limited edition 3 LP box set, there is a green LP in there. There's a clear one, a green one, and a pink one. And I'm wondering if it's going to be that same green, because they're sticking pretty close with those, well, the green and the pink for sure, colors. So I don't know if they're going to deviate too much from that shade of green. I don't know. It doesn't tell me much more than it's a green colored vinyl, but it's $27.99, available at Target. Again, like the Abbey Road one, I'm sure if you got a retailer wherever you're from, other parts of the world, that retailer will be covering it too. That one's coming out on the 7th. And then seems like I'm missing something. Oh, yes. I am going to throw this in here, even though this has been pretty big news too, but Anthology 4 is getting an individual release, also coming out on November 21st, along with the box sets that everybody was upset about. That was at first the only way you could get Anthology 4, but Anthology 4 is now going to be individually available, coming out November 21st, with the box sets also in the 3 LP form for $75.98 and the 2 CD form for $29.98. Good on Universal Music, Apple, for doing that. That was not right that they were limiting that to the box. The odd thing now is the remastered, remixed, in some cases, 1, 2, and 3 are not individually available. I don't think they would sell individually. I get the demand for 4 being an individual release, but so far those are exclusive to the box set. So if you want the new mix, the new mastering, however which way you want to say it, I guess Apple, Universal Music is saying just mastering, but we're learning it is remixing. On those, that's the only place you're going to get them. And I kind of joked with somebody in one of my comments that, are they just taking the box sets that aren't selling and pulling the 4 out of it and repackaging it? Because I'm a little surprised they're going to have these ready to go, because it takes a while to press this, and usually when stuff is coming out, November 21st, they've probably had these pressed since back in August. So were they planning to do this the whole while? And, oh, well, let's see kind of the reaction at first, and then, build a little drama, and then, oh, hey, we got it available now individually. And they've had it ready the whole time? Or are they breaking down these box sets that aren't selling and doing that? And I got to say, I'm going to tell you in this right now, I have canceled my pre-orders on it. I've had them pre-ordered through Amazon for a while, and I decided to cancel, and I've got a good reason why I'm going to. I did pre-order the CD set, but I got the limited edition one from the Beatles store. So I'm at least going to get one of the limited edition ones, and I kind of thought the CD one to me is the one, even though the LP one too, but we'll see what happens down the road. But I got a plan for the vinyl one, and you'll see when it happens, but I'm not going to get that right away, even though that was the one I was excited for, because I don't have any of the anthologies on vinyl. So I'm kind of, what am I doing? But anyways, now last off, I am going to report on this. I haven't found a lot of news on it, but I do want to get this out there. More just if any of you got information on it. I'm not trying to get this out there as news for everybody else. I'm trying to get answers myself, and I've Googled and Googled and Googled. I don't know if I'm the best Googler, and I'm afraid to use AI, so even though Google is AI, but anyways. Now that it asks you, do you want to go into the AI mode? And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I don't want AI taking me over. So, but anyways, there is allegedly, I'll put it that way, a John Lennon SHM CD release. And I am not reporting on this if somebody very reputable that I watched too hadn't already reported on it. And I kind of feel like in my unboxing video for Power to the People, I mentioned about this, and now I'm kind of feeling like I might have had that wrong. I stated that there's an SHM release of sometime in New York City coming out. I don't think there is from what I found. My limited ability to Google did find me enough on this. I still don't know a release date. I know it's going to be either end of October or end of December, and I'm not sure if it's going to be worldwide or just to Japan. The only place I'm finding anything on it is some site out of Germany. There is supposed to be a John Lennon SHM CD reissue campaign coming out, and it's pretty much all of his albums. The only one I am not finding, however, is sometime in New York City. So it looks like it's going to include Live Peace Toronto, and that is the image that German website has got of it with the Obi strip and everything on there. But Live Peace Toronto 1969, Plastic Ono Band, Imagine, Mind Games, Walls and Bridges, Rock and Roll, Shaved Fish, Double Fantasy, and Milk and Honey. So I don't know if you guys know anything more on that. Please let me know, because I really would like to try to track some of these down, if not all of them, because I really love mini LP SHM CDs, and I'd really like to add all those to my collection. I'm kind of, if you know about that sometime in New York City one, please let me know. I swear Andrew Dixon said that, unless he meant that particular song that everybody's upset about, because his point is they're reissuing that album with that song on it. He might have been meaning Shaved Fish. I need to go rewatch his video on that to know for sure how he kind of worded that. Maybe he meant Shaved Fish on that, because yeah, like I said, I've seen all those albums, but sometime in New York City on that list. So I don't know what's up. So please let me know if you guys know. Otherwise, I don't know what's going on there with that, and I'd love to get a few of those, but I don't want to order them from this German website I'm finding here, because I don't know anything about them, and who knows how much tariffing I got to pay to get those into the country at this point. So even coming from Japan, I'm sure I'm going to have to pay a lot, which I haven't even seen them on any Japanese sites either. So I don't know what's going on here. So let me know if it's actually true. Like I said, I wouldn't report this if I hadn't heard it already from Andrew Dixon, because I think he's pretty reputable and a pretty believable. If he's telling you something's coming out, I'd believe what he's saying. So Andrew Dixon, if you're seeing this, please let me know what you were talking about. There we go. Let's put it that way. I kind of doubt that he is, but you never know who's watching, right? But anyways, that's kind of the wrap up on it. I think it's got a little longer than I was hoping, but I wanted to get this out there. Just kind of these little releases, some colored vinyl stuff, kind of exclusive stuff, and some reissue campaigns that I don't think a lot of us were even aware of, especially with this new packaging change for all those albums. It's going to be the first time for those particular albums in that package. So I think that's pretty exciting, but I'm a package freak. So I love to see when albums get kind of a new packaging like that. So along with colored vinyl and stuff like that. But anyways, there we go. I'm going to totally wrap it up though. But before I do that, once again, I want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to you new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Stay tuned Saturday, like I said, for the review on this guy. I'm really excited about that. It's been a fun listen, but it's going to be probably a long video, so just stay tuned on that. But anyways, also, please give the video a like if you like it. And like I always say, if you stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Let me know your thoughts on these issues coming out, reissues, issues, exclusives coming out. And let me know your thoughts too on those John Lennon SHM CDs. Do you got any more info than I've got? Because I am not finding a lot on it, and I just don't know if maybe it's because they're not available here in the States. Maybe it's a little harder to Google from US IP to find information. I don't know how Googling works, I guess, on that. I'd imagine they limit some to that, but I'd like to know some more on that, and I'd like to get those if they're available elsewhere, so and not have to pay too much tariffs on them. Thanks to our president. All right, but anyways, thinks he's torturing everybody else, and he's torturing us, not everybody else. Yeah, I'm gonna get fully wrapping up. Before I do that, though, oh wait, I've already done that.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh jeez!
Whoops! Oh no! Oh geez! Boy, we're keeping that to the end. Anyways, I'm Beatles, signing out.